How to advertise your online business like an expert. Do you have an online business, or have you been trying to advertise your online business and you feel like you're not getting anywhere? A lot of time people think that you can just take any content, any website and just put ads on it and make money. That is not the truth. Today I want to talk to you about 3 P's in order for you to advertise your business as an expert. The 3 P's are platform, post, and promote. First off, platform. There are 2 types of platforms: evergreen and timely platform. Evergreen platforms like YouTube, when you create content on there, you can always chop that content up and distribute it on different platforms. Let's say we are going to use an evergreen platform like YouTube. A long piece of content, maybe that's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, even 10 minutes. Take that YouTube video and chop it up, and you can use it for TikTok and you can use it for Instagram. Maybe I should show you the visual of what I'm talking about. So if you look at this, if you can see it, you can take a screenshot in 3, 2, 1. How you can create one piece of content and distribute it across different platforms. If you create your content this way, it actually helps you from being burned out of always creating new content. Depending on who you are and where you are on your journey, you can break your content into different platforms. Doing it this way, if you ask me, is very effective because you can take bite-sized clips and chop it up, and you can still create different pieces of content like tweets and threads and stuff like that. So the strategy here is, rather than creating content for every piece of platform, if you can use a pillar content like YouTube or LinkedIn or podcast, and you can take it and distribute it, you're going to save yourself a lot of time and energy trying to create content from scratch. One of the things I'm doing is, so now I go on Threads to test different pieces of content. So I have an idea, I just go on Threads and I post it. And based on the performance of that, then I go and create more content about that. I distribute it on YouTube and I chop it up back on different platforms. So that is my strategy right now. Threads allows you to post multiple times without dinging you. So I just post on there, whatever comes to my mind, I post on there. And if it's performing right, what I do is I just take it and I just distribute it on different platforms. So the next P is posts. I came up with 7 kinds of posts that you can do in order for you to be able to grow your business. One of the big mistakes I see people doing is, anytime they have a new product or a service, instead of them nurturing their audience before dropping it, what they do is they just show up one day to say, hey, I'm selling a book, or I'm selling a phone, or I'm selling a remote, or I'm selling something, a bottle, and they wonder why they don't get conversion, because you need to be able to test your audience to know what is working and what is not working. There are 7 types of content you should post before launching your product or service. If you are able to do these 7, you almost can guarantee that you get some traction when you start to sell. But if you don't do this and you just approach the market on, you are asking them for things, what usually happens is you get crickets and people don't respond to you well. First off, number 1, we have contrarian content. How many of you follow a page that is very controversial? They always have an opinion about everything and they are super controversial. Some of these things are very intentional. Let's say I have a digital marketing agency, right? And the first thing that comes out of my mouth is why you should never hire a digital marketing agency in 2025. It will get your attention because this is contrary to what I stand for. So what they are basically saying is they're trying to just get you in the first 3 seconds to pay attention. But if you go through, we're actually not deterring you from doing business with us. Let me give you an example. When I say why you should never hire a digital agency in 2025, 1, because you want to be able to make all the mistakes. 2, you want to spend all the time trying to figure out whether your website or your marketing works. 3, because you have nothing else to do. 4, because you hate your family and friends because you want to spend all your time. So never hire a digital agency in 2025 if you don't want to get the results that other people are getting. You see what I did? It's contrarian, but rather than me just sticking to the contrary part, I'm actually reaffirming why you should hire them by saying all the negative things you stand to lose by not hiring them. But you can be contrarian and still promote what you are doing without hurting your business. You don't have to be like Kanye West that does extreme things, but you can use contrary, because anytime you go against the grain, you actually grab people's attention. Like I say something that is very controversial from what you know I stand for. The first thing you're going to do is say, huh? What on earth is he saying? So 2, how-to content. How-to content creates comprehensive guides or lists that address a specific problem. So how-to content can be how to start a business when you have no time or money. This is a how-to, actually teaching people something. So when people do this, they have a starting point, they have an ending point, and they're able to go through step by step. Or a how-to content can be 7-day digital marketing strategy for entrepreneurs. You are showing them something that they probably didn't know how to do or how to do something better. And this actually helps you to just check the box of things that you can help them with. 3, the next kind of content is mindset content. What is a mindset content? Mindset content help people to shift the way they think by providing them with relatable stories and examples. So if you want to shift the way somebody thinks, you don't just tell them that stop doing what you're doing, just start a business, or you should do this better, or you should create this better. No, you have to share a story that's relatable to them. If you notice, I share a lot about when I used to work in 9 to 5. A lot of people are overworked, underpaid, and they are working a job that they do not enjoy, but they have to pay bills, they have responsibilities, so they are doing it. This is a conversation point that a lot of people can relate to because they currently find themselves in that position. For instance, let me give an example. My mindset content is my fear wasn't leaving the 9 to 5. My fear was never leaving and always thinking, what will my life be if I left? Now, other people are also thinking about this. So when you share something like this, you and them are on the same wave frequency. Another example is why not trying is worse than failing. Just think about all the things you want to do, right? If you never tried and you are like 85 years old, would you be happy with a version of yourself, or you kind of kick yourself in regret, like at least I should have tried, I should have done it? So mindset content to me is the most important because it gets people to start moving. It gets them to start thinking about things differently. Like the people who are stuck in the 9 to 5 right now, they want to start something. And if you hit them with the question of, man, if you're 85 today, would you be happy that you didn't make any changes? That gets their brain to start thinking. The whole goal is to get people to say, yes, they agree with what you're saying. Anytime you post a mindset content, you just want to be able to create relatability. The goal here is to set people's mind on a path. 4, eye-opening content. Eye-opening content share a shocking but true statistics that will help capture your audience attention. For instance, did you know that 90% of Americans dislike their jobs? That is a big stat. And I'm not saying you should come and lie about anything or create something that's not true. Do some research, but the whole goal is to give some shock value of sharing some data that people were not aware. Or another example is an extra $1,000 a month can drastically change the lives of 80% of people worldwide. This is an eye-opening content. So you should get them to go like, whoa, like the person is shocked because they didn't know what you are sharing with them until you shared with them, or probably they knew, but they weren't really aware about it. So that is eye-opening content. Next is survey content. Survey content, you want to ask thought-provoking questions that engage your audience. And most of you will see this on my post. I'll post something and I'll say that type yes if you agree, yes or no. The whole goal is to get people to engage with what you are doing. So let me give you an example. Which business would you choose? One that earns $10,000 a month or one that earns $1 million once? So this is survey content. You're actually surveying your audience. You're trying to figure out which piece of content is going to land with them. So you say stuff like, what do you prefer? Staying in UK, generating this amount of funds, working 9 to 5, or staying in the US, making less? So the whole goal, depending on your industry, is to get people to be able to survey them on where they are and how they are thinking about certain things. Another example is the journey will be hard, but now I can put ... and people will finish the sentence. And this type of content, it creates interactions and engagement. If you are looking at generating more engagement for your posts, you want to be able to create survey content that gets people to actually interact and engage on your posts. Next, credibility content. Highlight results that you have achieved for others. So you can use testimonials from satisfied customers to establish your credibility. If you're starting out, considering offering discounts on your services in exchange for testimonials. I just thought one of my clients experienced this, and it's a game changer for him, because what he was doing, it was asking people to write testimonials. I was like, give them a little discount for them to write testimonials, and then once people on Google start to see the testimonials, you start getting more traffic from your websites. Tip here is make sure to let your customers know the full price before offering a discount. This type of content builds credibility. So if you are looking to build a 5-star business or a 7-star business, how you do it is through credibility content. Show people that you've done the work and show them the results other people have gotten from working with you or your product or your service. Next is influence content. So you build relationship with influencers in your field by engaging with them on social media or participating in their live streams. If I bring somebody on, let's say I call somebody on this live and I was like, hey, join me and let's have a conversation about something. One person can be influential, invite another person, and they leverage each other's influence. You see a lot of people doing collaborations on social media. This is the entire purpose. Influence content is the live one, and this type of content helps people to change their behavior and take action. So get on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok lives with influential people. If you are in an industry, right, and you're not building traction, one of the best ways is for you to find somebody in that same industry and start collaborating with them, because you start to borrow someone else's credibility by you associating with that person. In order for all of these to work, I mentioned 7 kinds of content. Let me use my finger, 7. In order for it to work, you need to be able to post at least a minimum of 21 days to 6 months to see results. Don't make the mistake of just starting out and posting everything the same day and expecting business, because you need to take your audience from cold, warm to hot, who are ready to be able to take action. What usually works is you post all these different kinds of content and you look at your data to see which one is converting. Depending on your industry, try all the different pieces of content. You don't need to take my word. You just need to look at your analytics to say that I post all these different pieces of content, and maybe the contrarian ones are the ones getting the most traffic. So I'm going to focus more on that. So the whole goal is to test all these 7 pieces of content, figure out your sweet spot, what works for you and your business, and start narrowing and focusing on that piece of content to create more of the ones that are performing. Before we go to the next section, I want to share something with you. Anytime it's people's birthdays, and I used to do this in the past, I used to see people do something called fashion show. They take a nice picture, it's my birthday, and people are like, hey, happy birthday to you. I learned from one of my coaches that it's a waste of real estate, digital real estate. What usually happens is on your birthday, usually gets more traction on your post. If you post something, more people see it. So rather than wasting that digital real estate, what you can do is you can launch your product or your service on that day, the day that your page gets the most visibility. You don't necessarily have to do this if you don't want to, but if you're a business owner that you are looking to be able to push something out or get more people to see something, one of the best days to drop it is your birthday, because the chances of people seeing it and sharing it is actually very high. So in this book, I have something called the birthday play. If you can see it, it's called the birthday play. So the birthday play simply is you create a domain, you direct traffic from social media to a landing page, and you have an offer on there. This is what I actually used to launch my book. If you scroll all the way down to my page and you look at 2022 on my birthday, that is when I started to talk about the book. The book was not even ready yet. And I got hundreds of people to actually pre-order the book before it was launched. So if you have something that you want people to see and you are not even ready to run ads yet, you can use days like birthdays to promote that thing to get more people interested in what you're doing. The thing is, you get more conversions because more people organically see your stuff on your birthday. So if you're a business owner and you want to make money on your birthday, I'm just giving you a tip. I actually used that to launch this. We did quite a significant amount of sales when we did that on my birthday. Now, here's a pro tip. When you think about posting content, lead by giving. People are very smart. People know when you are just talking and you are not interested in giving them anything. When you tell people, just go and buy my course or just go and do this other thing, and you don't give them any value, what usually happens is people just check out, they associate you with somebody who takes and don't give back. So lead by giving. Include a hook in your title. Test different types of contents to see which one works. Get into the habit of posting on social media and engaging with your audience as much as you can. This is something all of us, we can do better on. Sometimes I'll check my DMs and their messages have not responded to in a bit. We can all do better on this. Be authentic and provide value. That's how you develop trust and build a strong online community. So this is how you post. The third thing on the list is 3, promotion. Most of the time when people are trying to promote something on social media, they are always just trying to just promote without having a theme or a target on what is the essence of the promotion. People think visibility equals sales. It doesn't. You have to have a benchmark to say that if we have 20 leads, it means we usually convert, let's say 20% of that. So that might be equal to 4. So you can look at that to say that we can get this amount of conversions because we can tell that this amount of people equals this amount of business. So first off, what is promotion? A promotion refers to a paid advertisement and is typically created for reaching a wider audience to promote a specific product, service, or event. Promotions can take a form of display ads, sponsored posts, video ads, and are usually shown to people who do not follow you. It doesn't mean that people who do not follow you will not see your posts. It's usually to target somebody outside your normal reach. Now, let me quickly talk about the main types of ways you can promote your business. First, we have optimize your website so people find you on Google search when they look for you. 2, make sure that the page is SEO, search engine optimized. We have SEM, search engine marketing. We have email marketing, online directories and review sites like Yelp. We have content marketing. You can create content like blogs, articles, infographics on social media and distribute it. You can have social media marketing. There are many ways of you promoting your business. Try different pieces of content and ask yourself which one is getting organic traction. And based on the organic traction that you're getting, you are going to go back and do a right hook to go and change the caption to have a call to action, then promote it. In the past, you could throw anything on Facebook ads and it just converts. Right now, you have to be very strategic because almost everybody is advertising on there. So if you're a new business, I would encourage you, don't rush to start running ads. Post organic pieces of content based on what performs. You can go and edit it a little bit and now you can start running ads toward it. This shows you that people are already interested in the post and it's going to do better when you run it on ads. I see a lot of times people spend a lot of money, they are running ads and they don't make any money and they kill the ads and they say social media ads don't work. It's not that they don't work. You need to be strategic around it. You create organic pieces of content, they perform well, and based on the performance, you're going to run an ad on it and direct it to a landing page that can convert. Here's the pro tip under how to promote your business. To increase your visibility and reach, identify collaborations that can help you access a new audience and promote your business online. Embrace creativity and maintain consistency in your efforts. The 3 things I touched on is number 1, you pick your platform. You pick an evergreen platform that can help you to distribute content to the other platforms like short form. 2, test different kinds of posts. I mentioned from contrarian to survey content and all the different content you post. You need to test all of them out to see what works for you. And based on what is working, you start doing more of that. And 3, once you find a winning formula of a piece of content that's performing right, all you want to do is just put some gasoline behind it and start promoting it. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new. Once you start to get close to anybody who is doing stuff, you start to realize that everything is just try and error and they figure out what is working and they work. And that's basically it. How did I write this book? Try and error. I tried a number of things. Some didn't work. And the things that worked, I decided to document it and share it to people. So the whole goal is be willing to take action and testing. Don't be so pessimistic to the point like you almost think everybody who shows up is trying to take something from you. Take the information, the free information they're sharing, and try it out, test it. This is how I pay all my coaches. I use their free stuff, and when I make money from their free stuff, I decide to pay them on their paid stuff. If you want more information on how to be able to turn your idea into a profitable online business, I wrote a book called 100K Secrets, the 5-step blueprint to creating a 6-figure online business. You can get a free sample. Just comment blueprint and I'll send it over to you. My name is Kimbwari. I'll love and leave you. Take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.